When we talk about sustainability, no one can contradict my love of blue sky and rivers and trees and our nature. When we go on holiday, we don't look at a brochure saying, what is the most ugly, evil-smelling place I can find and go there? No, we chase beauty. Most of us, we chase beauty. We go chase beauty and then we go and trash it. But it is beauty that we want. We don't mean to trash it. That's just because we're so unconscious of what we're doing. But we chase beauty. Beauty is life. And you don't have to believe in it. It just is. When you select a woman or man, you don't. You look for beauty, don't you? I'm not doing it in the sense of this. I don't necessarily mean physically, but you look for beauty. Yeah, it's amazing. I believe, truly believe, in our communities of leaders, we have to start talking like this, see. We have to start talking like this. Women and men, we have to talk like this. We have to understand that we are always actually talking about love and children and everything that makes life worth paying, and don't give a toss whether it's Vodafone or BT or any of these other companies, or PwC and all the rest of it. That's what we have to talk about. And that is what I will talk about, because I made that promise. So I go into those forums and this is what I talk about. And you know what? They don't kick me out. Because they are, first and foremost, fathers and mothers, uncles and aunts, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters. And I remind them of that. The thought of, at that age as a teenager, thinking that there was nothing except mortgages, buying a house, possibly a second house, getting a car, possibly a second car, a pension plan, you know, the whole thing. This felt to be it. And now we have a time when we're realizing that this is the moment, this is the time, and we're all called to step forward. We're called to step outside of the conformist little box that I would say all of us have been raised to function within and do something that's different. You see, I think there's something which we've just utterly lost the dream of what it is we're seeking to do here on this earth. And there is a huge call now for leaders. And the way we think of leaders at Embercombe is to say a leader is someone who is brave enough to act on what they know to be right. That is such an unusual circumstance that they immediately become a leader. They become so profoundly inspiring because of the courage which they demonstrate and they give to us. Another one, we say a leader is someone who in whatever context they happen to operate, at whatever end of any hierarchy or status system or anything else they exist to empower others to become leaders. A leader is someone who, in whatever context they operate, seeks to empower others to become a leader. Later on, I said, what if we redefined this purpose and said that profit and growth and all the things that businesses do is the means by way they achieve a higher purpose, and that higher purpose could be that we exist to contribute to society to its greatest need, using the experience, power and all the rest of it we have. And that whole topic took off in that room. This is a senior group, Unilever people, and was taken through to the executive as the recommendation from this working party. And they took this thing that had suddenly turned this rather group of depressed people into a really inspired group. And they massaged it and pressed it and pushed it around and stretched it and reworded it, and out came something that was just the same as everything that had ever preceded it, and was not inspiring, and just a rather kind of cliched mantra again, which did nothing to anybody. Anything failed. Yet I know that in that little room there were a group of people who longed for a different purpose to be expressed. And that's, I think, where we are now. The day that we cease to talk about fair trade. Because if we got fair trade, what does that say about all the rest? We just have fair trade. That's what business is. Where every business is actually a social enterprise, because we have remembered rather than forgotten that the very existence of organizations, all organizations should be, to serve the communities in which they're a part, wider communities, and indeed life itself.